BLUELOCK chapter 336 has just released. We get the continuation of Hiori and Karasu's awakening as both of them fight against France. Japan is finally showing they're not here to play. Hugo continues his dialogue with Isagi as Isagi questions what he needs to do. This is one of those chapters where you just need to see what happens. I can't talk about it much without spoiling, so let's jump into it quick. The chapter picks up right where we left off, with Hiori receiving the ball and the commentator saying a pass to the left side. The ball is now with Hiori. Yo. I know people have been doubting Hiori, and at the current moment, they're low-key right. His goal percentage is straight zeros, but if he cooks this chapter, then he'll definitely make up for it. We then see him activate Metavision with his aura eyes popping up, saying, "Me too." He was thinking the exact same thing, referring to Karasu, as he hits the dash down the pitch. Hiori comments that all of Isagi's attack patterns have been shut down. He's too slow, so there is no choice but for someone else to create a different pattern. The only ones who can do it now are Hiori and Karasu. Honestly speaking, we've barely seen them work together in the actual manga, but we do know they have a past together, so if there's any time to shine, it would be right now. Renoir starts screaming out that he's free and someone needs to mark him, and we see a Moist Critical pull up for the defense game, but Hiori makes quick work of him, weaving him by cutting it inside. Wasting no time, Hiori immediately starts aiming for a shot. However, two more defenders pull up in front of Hiori, so even though he's in a shooting motion, he ends up hitting them with the pump fake and passing it to his right where Karasu is, because there is no path, which got every France player and their moms confused, as three of them are straight hollering at Hiori's play, basically confused at another lateral pass. Hiori, like the good femboy midfielder he is, basically realizes that this is a perfect opportunity for Karasu to take the shot now that the defensive line is in chaos. He's thinking to himself that Karasu needs to shoot now. However, we jump over to Karasu and we just see bro seething and clenching his teeth. Karasu says, "That's not it, you idiot. He is the one who is supposed to shoot." And then we get a flashback to the time they were on a team together, and Karasu says his talent as a striker is what he, who was on the same youth team as Hiori, knows better than anyone else. He's hyping up his boy, and I respect it, and he continues that the conflict regarding football changed here in BLUELOCK. Karasu is the one who's seen it all. Karasu then pulls a LeBron and passes it back to Hiori for a heat check, which got bro mad confused, wondering why it's another pass to him. I mean, just look at bro's face. Karasu kind of just gave up the shot, but it's cool to see that he's confident in Hiori, and he explains that too, saying precisely because it's him, he can bet on it. Hiori has an extraordinary shooting ability. So Karasu is all in on the Hiori stocks. I will say Hiori was literally built to be the #1 striker from his mom and dad, but even the Nigeria goalkeeper was out here blocking his shots, so at this point, it's all trust. Now, as the ball goes to Hiori, he's left with a crossroad of decisions, because Rin appears to his right, seemingly shaking off Hugo and calling out to his name. Isagi also runs in, telling Hiori to pass it, but he has someone on him, and Hiori is already in the mindset that Isagi is useless, so we all know he ain't getting the ball. To make the decision even clearer, though, Karasu in a blacked out text box just says, "Shoot, you idiot." With Karasu standing in front of bro, Hiori says precisely because he shifted all awareness towards being #2, an idea has emerged. And in the next page, we see Karasu holding back two of the France defenders. And something ain't right with bro. He looking mad scary. Got Karasu moving like prime Tobey Maguire, holding back the train. And just peep the fit upgrade too. Immaculate. Bro got the claw aura over his hands. And he's straight gripping the defenders. Just look at their faces too. They ain't ever seen anything like this before. Karasu says that there is a path to victory called self-sacrifice, and he tells Hiori to shoot it again. We even get a close-up of his eyes as we see his crow aura creeping up his neck, and him saying euphoria. As Hiori's aura eyes pop up too, and him saying he believes in the extraordinary, so we all know bro's gonna take the shot. Which I can't lie, that was super quick. It's only been a few pages, and it's just straight action. The decision is up to y'all now, though. Do we put our faith in Hiori, or will someone teleport and block his shot? We'll find out soon enough, as Hiori immediately goes for the shot. And yo, so much is going on here right now. Karasu, with literal wings on his back, still holding back the defenders, actually ducks his head too. And this was all to open up a shooting path for Hiori. And low-key, Karasu gotta get an award, bruh, because the amount of creativity for this play deserves a round of applause. The France goalkeeper is stunned, saying, "What?" explaining the play. Karasu lowered his head by a hair's breadth, creating a shooting lane just one ball wide. And as we're all waiting in anticipation, Hiori, against all odds, will he make the unexpected goal, tying the game back up for Japan? Or will it be someone unexpected blocking his shot? Hugo, Loki, and Charles are all still missing. As the next page reveals, Hiori has scored the first goal for Japan. Sound off the alarms. Hiori has actually done it. Who would have predicted this? His first goal of the manga. I'ma keep it a buck. Hiori before this had a 0% goal percentage. He was shooting like Dashi out there. So it's illogical to think that Hiori was missing this, especially because we didn't see any of the big France players who can pop up at any time, especially Hugo. That being said, the Hiori Glazers, I wasn't familiar with your game. Y'all were right. I gotta give props when props are due. Love it or hate it, the U20 World Cup has been giving us the most unexpected goals, like Bachara's goal, Charles' goal, and now Hiori's goal, which I'm loving so far. Jumping back into it, Charles looks stunned and he says, "We didn't hear about this. A goal without Isagi Yoichi." As we now see, the score is tied up and Hiori's goal has icicles coming off of it. The commentators start getting hyped, saying the famous words, "It's a goal," as we see Hiori and Karasu hit a goal celly together. The crowd starts cheering as well, and it says, with a trick shot from Hiori, and Karasu Tabito, BLUELOCK has tied the score. Chigiri and Bachara come in to celebrate. Low-key, I don't know what's going on with Bachara's face, but peep the back, because there is one man with his hands on his knees not celebrating. It's Isagi Yoichi. And Isagi, in disbelief, says, "We did it. We caught up." And I'ma keep it a buck. This was all Karasu and Hiori, dog. Bro really think he part of the team. But anyways, he says they're back to square one, but tries to analyze the play. He realizes that the way Karasu just played, it looked like a playstyle that completely threw away his own chance to score. Isagi questions to himself if that's really okay as a way of fighting in BLUELOCK. In other words, Karasu did throw away his striker mentality for Hugo's number 2 mentality, which kind of goes against what BLUELOCK stands for, hence why he's questioning it. And we see Hugo pop up, and oh brother, anytime Isagi is on screen, Hugo is always there. Like he's right behind me, isn't he? Ready to start trash talking. Hugo then starts his dialogue saying, "A goal without Isagi Yoichi. Individuals possessing the brains and talent of a number 2. He acknowledges BLUELOCK, saying not bad, and that this is the destructive power of a matching aptitude that he was talking about." So now, bro's using Karasu and Hiori's goal as proof for his theory being right, which I'm hella dead. This guy always got an ulterior motive. Look at Isagi's face too. He is just ticked off. And Hugo just starts his analysis, saying, "Let's see, if you were to add one more number 2 role to the frontline formation, BLUELOCK would reach a level where they can truly compete with France. Isagi is the one holding the keys to destiny." And I can't help but just laugh, man. This is the most rage bait, passive-aggressive sentence ever. Hugo straight belittling him, saying, well, if only BLUELOCK had another number 2 who happened to be Isagi Yoichi. Out of nowhere, though, we see someone grab Isagi's hair and telling Isagi not to listen to him. He is destined to devour the number 1 spot along with me. So someone helping Isagi when times are rough, and it's none other than Itoshi Rin, my boy, hyping up Isagi. And this literally got me smiling ear to ear. We've come so far because a few months back, Rin was hitting Isagi with the low tier god speech. And now he's here to back him up, giving that mutual respect and saying that being the number 2 is lukewarm. But I can't deny, y'all, this face on Isagi is not a good look. When have we seen Isagi make this face, bruh? Got him looking like Kaiser after the results of PXG. Someone get my boy some help. And this face got the community slandering him left and right. I do understand he's going through a mental crisis right now with Hugo in his head, so take all the time you need, dog. But the more time, the more slander you're gonna have to undergo, and it hurts me, man. Isagi really is going through it, though, as we get a close-up of his eyes, wondering which philosophy is correct. And then we jump over to Henri, who's excited over the goal. She says that they did it, the invention of an unknown attack pattern completed by Hiori and Karasu. With this, they can still stay in the fight. But Ego, with his hands folded together, says no. As the next page shows, Ego now has the blacked out text boxes saying this is outside his calculations. This chemical reaction is not the phenomenon he desired. Which I'm getting an ominous feeling, y'all. Ego basically isn't messing with the Hiori and Karasu goal, which is most likely because Karasu threw away the blue lock mentality just to tie up the score, which is setting up the big dilemma for this game, as we see Henri confused and Isagi still baffled, asking himself what he should believe in. As the last page shows Hiori, Karasu, Rin, Hugo, and Ego, with Isagi in the middle as a black silhouette, and low-key, this panel is peak with everyone here. Isagi says, right now, what is happening in Blue Lock, as the chapter ends off there on yet another cliffhanger. Alright, so wow, a Hiori goal, and on top of that, a super narratively important chapter. I would argue the most important chapter for the France game so far, so there's a lot to talk about. I want to keep it concise as possible though, and cover the most important things. Now, with that Hiori goal, we had Karasu basically give up the blue lock mentality and self-sacrifice his own goal so that Hiori can score. This obviously worked, tying the score against France, and kind of proves Hugo's philosophy is right, but that isn't what Blue Lock was built to do. Hence why Isagi and Ego are having a sense of wrongness from the goal. And in general, Isagi is kind of having a mental crisis at the moment. He has Rin backing him up, saying be an egoist, all of the teachings from Blue Lock, but obviously Hugo's teachings or philosophy works because he's shutting down Isagi, he's ineffective right now, and Karasu just proved it worked. So that explains why Isagi is in a dilemma of what he should do. Adapt to this new mentality, which he would be better at, or keep doing what he's doing this whole time. And I've also seen a lot of people talk about, was Karasu justified in adapting the new philosophy? He made the logical play by giving the ball to Hiori, just like how Isagi makes logical plays to give the ball to like Kunigami in Barcha or Yukimiya in Munchen. But in this case specifically, why it's different is Karasu had an opportunity to score, but self-sacrificed and threw away his striker consciousness, like he said in the last chapter, so that Hiori can score. I genuinely just think at the end of the day, whether you think it was justified or not, the most important takeaway is Hugo has Blue Lock and Isagi wrapped around his fingers. He is getting in their head and it's a lose-lose situation for them no matter what. Which shows how good of a character Hugo is. I'm really shaping up to like him. He's literally splitting a Blue Lock in two and being this hurdle for them, having Isagi go through a mental crisis and whatnot. So now it's gonna be a clash of philosophies within Blue Lock, and players are gonna start choosing sides, which I'm excited to see where it takes the story, especially considering the next chapter title. Chapter 337 is titled For the Blue, like for the Blue Lock, and y'all, the France game is just cooking back to back to back. I'm having a great time with this arc and game so far, but this chapter title is really hinting at sides being chosen. Will they compete for Blue Lock and prove the egoist mentality, or do what's right for the win? So I can't wait to see what happens, especially because I have a feeling we're gonna see some substitution soon. Maybe Karasu getting subbed out because he's not following the Blue Lock mentality, which would be controversial because he just got us a goal. Isagi getting subbed out is a very popular theory because he's ineffective at the moment. Regardless, just seeing some of our fan favorites coming into the game and getting screen time too. I'm just here for the ride, and I appreciate y'all being here for it too. Remember to leave any thoughts you have down below on this chapter because there was a lot to talk about. I didn't have time to cover Isagi's mentality of him previously sacrificing his soul or being a machine for Japan's victory, so y'all can talk about that too. If you made it to the end though, thank you so much for watching as always. YouTube really thinks you like this video right here, so be sure to check that one out too. I appreciate y'all so much, and I'll see y'all in the next one.